Hi you guys, this is the cichlid guy coming to you on a wonderful Saturday morning. I just wanted to give you some good looks at good food and good maintenance equipment for your cichlid aquarium. I use when it comes to food, I use this is pretty okay. It's not the best food I have, but this is pretty okay. It's the top fin large cichlid pellets. Obviously my fish are not large yet, but they will eat this soon. But for right now, what I do feed them, my main two foods that I do feed them are cichlid gold from Hickory. You might see this packet come in blue or green, and that's usually the super small sizes, and they usually have different chemicals in them, but they do just fine. I think this is one of the best foods that you can feed your fish. And one other thing that I do feed my fish with, they love so much because they're really small right now. This is real easy. I use this brine shrimp. This thing comes in little cubes. You know, you slide it out, you pop one in your hand, and you put it in there, and it dissolves and it shreds up. And there's hundreds of them in one little cube. I give them 1 cube a day. They seem to love it, and they eat it just fine. And they thrive off of that. One other thing I use for some of your cichlids might eat this, some might don't. I also feed it to my my bottom throwing fish, like my catfish at the bottom. I use this A-Pod bottom feeder. You know, looks really good. You know, comes with these little granules. I don't know if you can see that, little granules in there. They do just fine. They eat them. They love them. But when one thing that comes with all this food that you enter into your aquarium is you're going to have a lot of waste. They're going to eat it. They're going to cause a lot of waste. It's going to be trapped into your gravel. And if you leave it in there, the nitrates go up, the quality of the water goes down, nitrates go up, and you know that's just problems that you don't want to have in your aquarium. So one thing that I use once a week, like I said, you should do maintenance in your aquariums at least once a week, especially with like Maui aquariums, because people overstock them. There's a lot of fish. So you want to use this. I use this. Some of you fish people know it. It's called a siphon. This thing does wonderful. What it does is you have this part in your bucket, and you have this big part in the aquarium. And what it does is it separates the dirt from the gravel. And that's sort of the smartest things that anybody has come out with. A easy, low. You know, the difficulty of using this is very low. All you do is put it in. You start a siphon, and it just moves the rocks and picks the dirt up and leaves the rocks, puts them to your bucket, and your gravel is now clean. One thing that happens when you use a lot of food is, you know, your nitrates and your pH go up. So when it comes to scrubbing the aquarium and keeping the glass clear, you know, for viewing purposes, I use these. I have 2 pads. This one is made for acrylic. This one is made for glass, which is what I have. You know, sometimes we don't feel like getting your hand wet. You know, it's pretty long. You know, you just stick it in there, clean the glass, scrape the glass long as much as you like to during the day. Me, I like to get my hands into the aquarium, so what I like to use is this pad. This pad was very cheap. I got it at the local pet store, PetSmart, Petco, easy 99 cents. Works just fine. You know, you go in here, you put as much pressure as you want to with your hand. You know, you can get down at the bottom, and you know you can get those little spots that you probably can't necessarily get with this. Works great. I love it. One thing I want to tell people, because a lot of people mess up with this, is when you add new fish to your aquarium, you want to send all your fish through a next cycle. A lot of people have that problem where they don't like to send their fish through a next cycle. It takes too long, or they don't feel like doing it, or they don't know how to do it. What I tell people is it's much easier to send your fish through a next cycle, or vice versa, than you having to send your entire tank through a next cycle. What I mean by the next cycle is, most people call it quarantine. People in the saltwater world call it quarantine. I like to call it this cycle. It's just what I like to call it. But what you do is, when you get new fish, you know, they come, as you guys know, they come in little bags like this. And this is what your little bag has, water in it. What I like to do is I dump them into a bucket. I pour just a little cup full, maybe 1 little gallon of your water out of your aquarium into the bucket. You know, so it puts the water that they came from and the water that you have in your aquarium, it mixes up, and therefore they can kind of slowly get used to the pH, the nitrites, and you know, just where your water at is in your aquarium. So when you put them in there, it's not like, whoa, where am I at? And while they're in that water getting used to it, I add this stuff. This is called It Guard. This is not expensive at all. It's a good $4 at your local pet store, and it does wonders. Comes with these little packets like these. Comes with these little packets, real small. You rip it open, and there's these little dissolvable tablets. Now for this one it's blue, but they come in different colors. This one dissolves and it turns blue, and you just put this in the water that they're in while they're getting quarantined in the bucket. And as they're in there, it kind of gets the ick off of them, you know, whatever's wrong with them. It kind of gets them off, or it puts a good clean coat of medicine on them before you enter them in your tank. Some people keep their fish in quarantine for days, maybe just hours. Sometimes people, especially in the saltwater world, do it for at least a week. And, you know, me, I do a very, very, very close look at what my fish look like inside the bag. If I can kind of see that there's no ick, I'll still run them through the ick cycle, but it'll be just for a few hours. But if they really have a lot of ick on them, but I really wanted them, I will put them in quarantine for a couple of days. I have a 10-gallon aquarium under my tank in the canopy. I mean, not the canopy, the stand. Good 10-gallon, nice little biofilter on there, and it's filled with medicine. And I keep them in there until they are clear enough to come into the display tank, because the last thing you want is for your display tank to be have everybody else sick, and then you have to put a bunch of these little dissolvable tablets in your display tank, and nobody wants to do that. This was your quick little Saturday morning quick tip. I'm glad you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions or any recommendations for any new videos, just let me know. Leave a comment below the video, and I will get to you or answer your questions to the best of my abilities. This is the Cichlid Cam TV. Please subscribe. I'm consistently uploading the videos as I come up with new ideas, or I hear about new problems, or I see new technology for the freshwater world. And if you guys are into saltwater, please check out Mr. Saltwater Tank or LA Fish Guy. They're amazing. They have hundreds of videos. I learned a lot from them, and I'm pretty sure, I guarantee you would too. Subscribe for them too. And thank you, and please come again.